All right. Well, the time is now 4:04, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So again, thank you all for being here today for this month's edition of the CIELO workshop series. So again, welcome. I see some new faces and I see some familiar faces. So again, I'm excited to have you all here. And real quick, before we get into today's topic and our guest speakers, I do want to give a quick introduction to CIELO, who we are and what we do, at least for those of you who may not be familiar. So CIELO, we stand for Community for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Opportunities. We officially launched in 2015, but we've been helping clients since 2012. We are a nonprofit organization helping aspiring entrepreneurs become business owners. So we help you build and develop the entrepreneur mindset needed to help you achieve success. And we provide the resources and the guidance, and you provide the hard work and the passion. So one thing about our organization here at CIELO, all of our programming, all of our services, and being that we are a nonprofit, we don't charge for what we do. So all of our services are available at no cost. So what services do we offer here at CIELO? We do have a small business development training program, which I'll talk about since we do have one coming up next week. So I'll talk about that in the next slide. We have a monthly workshop series just like this that we offer every month. Every month is a different entrepreneurial topic, a different topic each month. We are consistent with it. It's always the last Wednesday of each month. So for this one, we have our partners here at Chase presenting, and we will have other ones, and we'll always let everybody know. So all of you who have attended will be on our marketing list, and you'll know of our topics at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance. We also offer one-on-one small business coaching. So if you know of any entrepreneurs or you're a self-entrepreneur and want to talk to someone a little bit more about your business, we do offer that ability to do so. You can just go on our website and book an appointment. We also have a client navigation side to CIELO. We have a client navigation team, and our whole goal is to support entrepreneurs to business launch. So all of our clients who are enrolled in CIELO, we don't just want to have you attend our trainings, but we also want to support you up until your business launch and even after. We also have a microgrant program for CIELO business startups. So say you are a CIELO client, you have gone through our business training program, and you have completed all the requirements, you may be eligible for a grant for startup funds to start your business. And lastly, we're trying to be a connection for all small businesses for resources and services. So if you ever have any questions or you need a resource for whatever reason that you might be having either a struggle with or like more information on, if we can answer the question, great. Or if we need to put you with somebody who knows the topic better, subject matter expert, then that's what we want to do as well too. We want to bridge that gap for you. In terms of upcoming events, our next CIELO Small Business Startup Program is starting actually next week on Tuesday. This is our last one for the year. So it starts November 1st, 2022 at 4 p.m. I know that some of you that are attending here today just finished one of our recent startup programs or have in the past. So take a journey on the Entrepreneur Roadmap to Business Launch. It's a 6-week training program for entrepreneurs and startups. It's a combination of live classroom training through Zoom and also one-on-one business coaching. So topics that we cover include how to pick a business name, advertising on social media, introduction to business financials, and much, much more. So if you're interested in attending or want to know more about it, again, it's starting next Tuesday at 4 p.m. and you can email us at info@cielocommunity.org, or you can also scan the QR code here on this flyer. And just as a reminder, we are going to send out the recording for this workshop to all participants, those who are here today and even the ones who weren't able to attend. And we'll also have this flyer as well too. And Pablo, if you're on, if you can go ahead, drop, you might have done it already, I haven't looked at the chat, but if you can drop the link for the Eventbrite in the chat, if anybody's interested in knowing more about it or want to register. So with that said, we're going to our topic today. So our topic today is marketing in a digital world. As you all know, we're getting more and more digital, right? It's more less on paper, more digital. So I'm very excited today to have our partners from the Chase Business Banking team. And we have a whole team today. I'm so excited to have all of you here and then also your support on this. So right now, I'd like to pass the stage on to Lionel. So Lionel, I'll go ahead, pass the mic on to you.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. We're super excited to have you. First, I want to say thank you so much for sharing all your businesses. If you look through the chat, we saw a lot of different types of businesses. So it's phenomenal to have like all aspects of the world really represented today. So I'm Lionel. I work for JP Chase. I'm with Community and Business Development. What we do is that we're on the field really providing resources around the racial equity commitment. So it is a commitment that the firm has launched about 2 years ago. And we provide resources of all aspects. But today we're really focusing on small businesses or businesses. I have my partners here, Jenny, and a subject matter expert, Sal Ayala, who's going to be really interacting with you and giving you guys some great resources. Feel free to write any questions in the chat. We're really excited to hear from you all and see what you've learned. If you're thinking of all aspects of community and really learning around financials or anything around specifically consumer stuff, even like starting your own, buying your own home or fixing your credit or increasing your credit scores, that's kind of the curriculum that I really I'm focused on. But we partner with our subject matter experts in the business field to really provide you guys additional resources. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you all. I'm going to turn it over to my partner, Jenny, and she'll lead us through the conversation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Alex and CIELO, for having us today. And I love to see that you're doing something for the entrepreneurs that are looking to open or starting their business. We are also part of that ecosystem. We actually help companies that have been established at least 2 years and are 100,000 in revenue up to $20 million in revenue with one-on-one coaching. So if you have clients or people that have gone through the program and at some point are at that level and want to continue that growth and scale part of their business, we'd love to help them. And for you that are here today, if at some point you've gone through your CIELO training and then your business has scaled, please let us know. We'd love to chat with you. We could do some one-on-one coaching as well. But we do workshops for everyone in our community as part of our racial equity commitment as well. So that's why we're here today. And I'm very fortunate to have one of a very knowledgeable person today with us. His name is Sal Ayala from Unico Business Solutions. This gentleman has many years of experience, especially around digital marketing. So Sal, do you want to share a couple of things about yourself? I'll be presenting the material, but please, by all means, take advantage of Sal's knowledge and ask any questions you may have on any of the material we covered today, and he'll share some examples as we go along. So you want to share some information about yourself, Sal?
Sure. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to collaborate with you guys and share any information I may find of value to this presentation. Basically, we've started this marketing agency approximately 17 years ago. We've been in business for about 24 years. We help all kinds of different businesses aside from marketing. In other areas of consulting with businesses. So we've pretty much seen every scenario out there. We're very fortunate to have a great base of clients in all aspects of business, kind of like diverse, like the group that is here today based on this chat that was filled out. So we specialize in to go through this presentation with you guys and answer any questions you may have with real life experiences that we've seen where we've seen successes with our clients and areas of opportunity as well. So I'm looking forward to collaborating here today. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So we know the shift has really gone to seeing people with their businesses now being very present with e-commerce. And here's just a number that is available to everyone. They expect retail sales to increase or be projected about 20% of the market share for retail by 2024. So it's a time of opportunity. Be online to take full advantage of it. If anybody wants to share on the chat, have you increased your online business since 2020, March 2020? And you're welcome to share your thoughts on the chat if you want to participate. So here's what we're going to cover today. Your unique business, where your customers are, maximizing your online space, analyzing and adjusting, and own your digital spaces. How you show up is as important as where, right? So branding matters. I think maybe somebody doesn't have us on mute. Can everybody mute us? So there's no background noise. Okay. What do people think when they see your business? What do they feel when they see your colors and logo? What do people say to your customers who represent your brand? These are things you should think about as you are establishing your branding online. A brand is a work in progress. It's the journey you're on, the story you tell in everything you do. So it doesn't mean that what you start with today is the same thing that you're going to do. You know, the same logo might have some adjustments, the colors may change with time, although you want to try to be concise throughout your business, right? But there might be things that you might modify as time goes on. Do you want to share anything about that specifically, Sal?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm a big stickler when it comes to branding and your logo design, and even I'm gonna go to even print. Okay, I know we're talking about digital marketing, but in my opinion, all channels of marketing connect to each other, right? So a lot of times, startups, they ask their a relative or somebody that may know a little bit about design and to put something together. But in my opinion, if you're going to spend any money to start your business and you're going to make any type of investment, that should be probably the most important part, which is your look and feel, your logo, your what you're going to put out there. Do a little bit of research and what people are looking for, what is attractive, what is that brand gonna tell people, what that logo is gonna tell people. And don't be cheap about business cards, because that is the first point of contact if you're doing networking, right? So the business cards, take them to your website. So make sure you take the time and spend the money, $500, $1,000, even $1,500 to have a professionally designed logo, a professionally designed brand. It is very important. A lot of people think, let me go cheap, and they end up spending more time. They change their brand 3 or 4 times before they get to what they like. So try to really give it the time it deserves, because that is the first. First impressions are everything. You only have one time to make that first impression, and it's so true. So make sure you take the time to really identify what is going to be appealing to your target audience, your target market. So that's what I would definitely encourage everybody to do, especially because digitally you're readily available to clients if you do have the presence online that you will have if you don't have after this presentation today.
Thank you for that. And I forgot to mention before we got started that I will be sharing a workbook that you'll be able to take a look at. And this particular page of the workbook gives you a little bit more background on things you should consider as you're establishing your brand. And this is something that you can do on your own. Like, who is your target audience? What personality do you want to give your brand? And so as you can see, it can go from mainstream to funky, from serious to playful. Is it more something nostalgic, more futuristic? There's different ways that you can think of your brand, and this will help you get ideas as to how you go about branding your business.
And Jenny, if I may, I'm going to jump in here one more time.
Of course.
When you're defining your logo and your brand, a lot of times as business owners, we like to talk a lot. Like, you'll see me talking a lot, but we're also very egotistical. We think about what we like. What is it that I like? What are the colors that I forget about what you like? What will your client like? What will appeal to your client? So this exercise, I loved it. When I was presented with this presentation, I love it because it does help you identify that. So don't think of yourself, think of your audience, think of your target market, think of your client. Okay. I promise. That's
Absolutely
it for
agree with that. I think that's the biggest message today, right? Think of your audience, where they're
Yes,
at,
yes.
and what they like. And as trends change, you might have to adjust. So that's kind of the whole message we're trying to cover today. We're going to go into a little more detail. So have a strategy. Think of product, price, promotion, the 7 P's: place, people, process, physical experience. And again, you're going to have a copy of this in your workbook. So yes, think of your target market. Absolutely. So again, in the workbook, this references you to have a little more look at your customers and empathize with them. So what do they think and feel? See what your customers see. Hear what your customers say. Understand what your customers do. Listen for what your customers hear from others and find out what they need to do. So these are things to keep in mind as you're thinking of your brand and your marketing. Does anybody want to share what their number one priority is for strengthening their brand? And please share in the chat. I'd love to hear. Maybe we can hear some words of wisdom from our expert. No comments.
Being more consistent with our marketing. It's one thing to have your marketing down, but just being consistent with that and just having that presence online.
Are you saying like a newsletter or something that's done on a
newsletter, running ads on either Facebook or Instagram or Google. So just doing that consistently.
Okay, so that's your priority. Are you doing it yourself or do you have somebody that's helping you with that?
I'm doing that myself, but I am looking for somebody who might be their strength to help me out.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll see if maybe you can. Oh, go ahead, Sal.
Oh, go ahead, Jenny.
No, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, no, what I was going to say is I like the fact that that you're talking about consistency, because that is something that, especially start when you're starting up, you might try different strategies, right? And one of the things that is going to be covered here today is going to be reevaluating, right? Analyzing what you've done. And you gotta have, this is a marathon. This is not a 100-yard dash. You have to be long-term focused, right? And so you have to make sure that you're consistent, right? And I know that saying, slow and steady wins the race, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it is about what you just said. It is about, out of sight, out of mind. So make sure you're inside. You're consistently putting something out subliminally. It's important. So I really agree with what you just said, and just to emphasize that, absolutely, just being consistent and continuing to put yourself out there is very important.
Yes. So where your customers are, important to know that before you spend a lot of money on a platform that might not be drawing the customers that are looking at or would be interested in your business. So the number one thing, of course, is always your website. That is your online hub, because you can promote your stuff on social media, but they're going to usually go to your website to get more information that isn't going to be included in the social media ad or details that you're sharing, right? So make sure that that is on point. So according to this study, people search Google 5.6 billion times per day. That's a big number. I was shocked when I saw that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but it was like, that's a big number, 5.6 billion a day. What does that mean, right? People are searching, getting more information about your business online. So it's so important that your website is designed aesthetically pleasing to the eye, right? And also that it looks professionally done. You don't want something that looks like it was made at midnight, put together in a couple hours, right? By somebody that's never done this. So do you want to share anything about this? part of now? Because
Absolutely.
I know it's so important.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. The term you used, hub, is a term that I regularly use with my presentation as well when we're talking to clients. And the importance of making sure that your website is a living organism, not only a hub, but a living organism online, right? A lot of times when you have a website and you treat your website just like a brochure, that's not good enough. Blogging on your website, continuing to add content on your website is super important, because that is what search engines look for. Search engines are looking at websites that are putting out good content that is relevant to the industries that you're in, to the services and products that you're offering. So aside from it being a hub, right, you want to obviously backlinking your social media to your site. You have to turn that website into a living organism that is truly putting out content to consumers. And that is what search engines like. The reason why search engines promote you organically, where you're not paying for ads to be at the top of the game, is because you put out good content. You put out value to the website user, right? To browse, people that are searching the sites. And now it's more common to use with the term key phrases versus keywords. I know keywords was big for a long time. Now it's key phrases, and it's more so because of the blogging that is out there. So one of the things that you should really consider doing, aside from just having your website, is making sure that you're constantly putting new content on your website. And that's why blogs are very useful, because that helps continuing to bring in additional pages and good content to your website.
Can you give us an example of what would be a good key phrase and it could be of any industry that you've worked with recently that you've made a recommendation that they.
Sure. So you're putting me on the spot on a good key phrase.
Sorry.
Right, so let's talk about. No, you're good.
We can come back. We can come back.
No. I'm good. So if you're I'm using actually an existing client of ours, Pollo Norteño. They're a chicken franchise out of Orange County. I think you guys in Orange County, you might have even eaten there. So we did a lot of blogging for them. So you might talk about on a blog that we've written, you might talk about the value of eating chicken versus beef, and so come try out the chicken that the nutritional values that come into chicken. So it's stuff like that when somebody's searching a comparison between foods, or especially right now the healthy craze. So things like that, phrases like that go get on your website is important. So what we do, and whether you do it yourself or you hire a professional, is you got to do research on that industry, right? And what people are searching for, right? And Google gives you a lot of that, right? Google Analytics gives you a lot of that. Google will actually, it's crazy how easy it is to find and how sometimes it takes us long to figure that out, but Google will actually give you the phrases that people are using out there for your industry, at least lead you in the right direction. But again, it comes back to the heavy lifting of writing consistent content. So like our content writers, we have a staff of content writers. That's all they do, is they research the industry and they research what people are looking for. And that's how we end up with, really good content online for our clients.
What's a recommended cadence for content writing? Like, how often should we do this, would you say?
At the very minimum, depending on the maturity of your website, right? If you have a website that you've only launched this year, the more content you can put on that site, the better. So I would say maybe 10 blogs per month. And then after that, maybe the first year, 10 blogs per month, then you can drop it down to like 5 blogs per month should be more than enough. But initially, if you're just, it's kind of like one of the first things in any new business, you should be promote, putting content out as much as you possibly can. So definitely the first year, if you can do 10 blogs a month, that'd be great, right? A minimum of 5 is what I wouldn't do less than 5 per month. So just depending on the platform and on the industry, that can vary a little bit, but on average, startups at least 10 per month, and then after that you can drop it down to 5, scale it down is okay. But you know, yeah, the more content you have and the more social media platforms that you're on, you know, I think we're going to cover that here in a few slides over, but you know,
Yeah.
people search differently. People are on different social media networks, and you got to find the one that works for you.
Yes. And some important things to keep in mind as you're building your website. Think about your value proposition, which is probably something you've done during your business plan strategy. Make sure your contact information is on and all the hours of your business. Up-to-date information, that's so big. I was so excited to go into this individual's website or business owner's website because I liked what they were selling and I was excited to see. And then all of a sudden I see like, oh, sale from March 2021. And I'm like, it's fall 2022. Like that's the last time you had your sale updated. I was a little disappointed because I feel like they're not really dedicating enough time to updating their website. And I mean, I'm sure the dresses they had on there were already sold. So what's the point of me looking at their dresses that are on sale at that point? Because it's been over a year and a half now. Making sure that it's easy to navigate. That's huge, right? Because sometimes you look at a website and it's clunky to get through to understand what the next, pages to pay or so just make sure that it's easy to navigate is really important. And then you share information about yourself. People want to do business with you as the owner and why would they want to do business with you, right? So share a little bit about yourself, your story in your website. That's also important. What is a professionally?
If I can touch on the value proposition,
please, absolutely,
really quick. Yeah. So the value proposition is also your call to action, right? Your value proposition is gotta entice them to take action on something, right? So when somebody visits your website, knowing what your user is there for and what their user is asking for, it's important. And again, that value proposition is also known as your call to action, right? What action do you want them to take as soon as they come to your website? So it's important you take control of navigating them through what you know they're going to look for. And especially if you're running ads on social media or you're bringing them from another website, a little bit more advanced, but make sure you have landing pages where they go to that site relates to why they came to that site. Don't just relink them to your website and put them on any random page because people will get lost and they'll get discouraged and they'll leave your site. So you have 8 seconds to grab their attention. So just keep that in mind.
8 seconds. Wow. That's good to know. So going back to this section, what does a professionally designed website need? Mobile friendliness. We are doing everything on our phones now. So make sure that it's easy to navigate on your phone. Accessibility compliance, images of people, testimonials. I think that's a big one, right? Like we want to hear the success stories, the things that you've been able to do for your customers or the experience, if it's a restaurant or something fun that you're trying to promote and sell, like share that fun or positive experience that your product or service offers. And you can, I'm sure, share a little bit more about the testimonials.
Yeah, the mobile friendliness I'd like to touch on as well, because that's kind of key, especially in today's world. A lot of people, they say, I want an app. Well, yeah, apps are good and definitely apps are great. But when you're a small business to get an app going and make it usable and really, effective, it's going to cost you, $10,000, $15,000 minimum just to start, right? Now, when your website is mobile friendly and you design your site for usability on a mobile device, which should be the most important part of your design, because every time we're not in front of a computer all the time anymore. Most of the stuff we do it on a mobile device. So that can all be designed in such a way that it almost works like an app. You almost eliminate that need when you're first starting off. I'm not saying it's going to replace an app by no means, but when you're first starting off, depending on your size of business, it could definitely be it is a very important part of your site for that mobile friendliness.
Yes, thank you. And in the workbook that I'll share, you'll have some building tools, website building tools for yourself. Now we get into the social media part, keeping it real with your customers. You can be on every social media platform, but where your customers need you. Oh, I'm sorry, be where your customers need you. So yeah, so if you're trying to target, 13-year-olds, you're probably not going to be on Facebook, right? You're going to be on
Or
TikTok.
LinkedIn.
Exactly. So if anybody wants to share where their business is currently has their media platform, please let us know through the chat. We'd like to know. I'd say a lot of people are going to say Instagram, but I'd like to see if anybody has a different method or platform. So how to choose your platform? What do your customers do online? What reinforces your brand image? Which platforms can help you meet your business goals? What gets people excited? What platforms are competitors on? Where can you put in the time, right? Because that's also going to be key, that you're not on every single platform, but you don't have time to manage that. And what will be something you enjoy doing? Anything here that you want to touch on, Sal? No, we can keep moving.
So
Okay.
as far as choosing your social media platform, I mean, it goes back to knowing who your target market is, knowing who your client is, right? It comes back to the branding. And that's why I hate to go back to it, but that's why I want to emphasize how important it is to do your homework when you're first starting off your company. And if you're already an existing company, it's okay, go back and reevaluate, send out, surveys to understand your client better so that you can retarget your marketing if you're not targeting it correctly. But that's where the brand comes in, because here it is, we're touching on this again, to know where to spend your time, which your time is money, and your resources for social media. It's important that you understand your market. So it starts with the branding. So you're going to use that information here as well. So if you start in that with that right foot, it's going to be easier for you to understand which platform is the best to use for your clients. Obviously, it takes money to be on all the platforms, and if you have that kind of budget, great. But it's not even smart to throw your money away on platforms that are not. You're fishing. You got to fish where the fish are, right?
Exactly. The social media landscape is always changing. Don't fall in love with a platform. Listen to your community. If they move on, you should too, right? So just be willing to pivot if things change is really what this message is saying. And then in the workbook, you'll also have some different ways to look at which one would be the best platform for you if you haven't yet decided.
That's a very useful slide.
You wanna touch on anything here, or should I?
No, I mean, I think I just really quick. I mean, I think you guys should really take the time to look through that page on the workbook, because it does provide a lot of valuable content, the whole workbook, but that in particular will help you define, your audience. So that's really good.
How to be successful on social media. Create a calendar, experiment with timing and frequency, be yourself, amplify community. I think it's key, the timing and frequency. We talked about that earlier, but I don't know if there's anything else you want to add here.
Just the consistency again, and on social media. I didn't see too much where we're talking about growing your audience, but organically is the best way to do it, right? Trying to get people just to follow you is not necessarily the thing to do, but making sure that you're consistent with your posting, and if you're blogging, posting your blogs as well is important. But organic results, organic growth with your social media following is important. So putting promotions out there that will help people want to follow you. And again, putting out good content will result in increasing following, right? People will share your good content posts that you put on there, and it'll help amplify your community.
Thank you. I'm going to just move quickly through the next few slides. I want to be conscious of everybody's time. So We'll definitely stop us if you have any questions or want us to give a little more information, but I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit in the next couple slides. How to be successful on social media. Give more than you take, ask customers to follow you, and be memorable. I think that's a big one. Be memorable. Leave something that people remember you, and hopefully a positive memory, not a negative one. So think of your audience always, right? Should you pay for social media impressions? Unfortunately, it's hard to get noticed if you don't. I think you should maybe share a little bit about this, because this is something important, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before social media was free, quote unquote, because you just post stuff, but that time has passed. Now you should definitely invest and have a small budget for your social media ads, right? Running ads and boosting posts is super important, and making sure you always have something that is linking them back to your hub, which is your website, right? Like we talked at the beginning. So definitely investing. Small budget, doesn't have to be a lot of money to start, is gonna really make the difference for you.
Email marketing, showing up right on time. Email continues to be a reliable digital marketing tool. Oh my gosh, everybody you buy from nowadays. Oh, are you on our email list? I have like 100 emails every other day from just things I'm somehow signed up for. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It's like a full-time job to go to my personal email, but it works. Believe me, I'll use an example. I had looked at some sunglasses that I had lost and I wanted to replace. And they knew I was looking at those sunglasses because they kept emailing me for like a week, reminding me that my sunglasses were still available. So definitely marketing through email and text is a huge way for you to get your information and your brand out there. So 46% of consumers who believe email is the best channel for company contact, preferring it almost twice as much as any other channel. So keep this in mind as you're building your marketing plan. Email success strategies. Focus on the open, develop a call to action, personalize your message. That's exactly what they did, right? They create FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh my gosh, my sunglasses, there's only 2 left. You better hurry. Get your order in because you're gonna miss out. That's exactly what they're doing. So email marketing systems. Here are a few that you can keep in mind. I've heard of MailChimp a lot. Constant Contact, HubSpot, Campaign Monitor, and Active Campaign. Don't you want to touch on any of these?
Yes, I do. So 30 seconds on this real quick. I mean, with email, I'm a big believer in email. So I believe that depending on the industry, depending on the industry, the email is going to be more or less effective. But definitely making sure that you're not bombarding them every day with email. Be reasonable with the amount of email campaigns you put out there. And again, just it comes back to content, making sure that there's value with your email and it's not abusive to the subscriber. So thread lightly with it because it is a really, really good tool, and I would definitely put that as one of my marketing strategies.
I think somebody has a question. Lionel, can you read us the question? I'm on my phone, so it's a little difficult to read it.
Of course I can. It says, I wanted to know your thoughts on SMS text for marketing. So what are your thoughts on text messaging for marketing? From Kevin.
So is that for Jenny or myself? I'll take it.
Yeah, you can take it.
Yeah, so SMS is great. Again, kind of the same thing that I said for email. Depending on industries, it's going to work better. I see it working very well with retail. I see it working very well, especially like they have offers, 50% off for this weekend only, those types of things. People that have opted in typically really enjoy it. But if you're texting people that have not opted in, it's going to be counterproductive. But I do text open rate is like at 98%. So 98% of people open their text messages. So it's a lot higher open rate than email. It's more expensive to do text blasting because of that reason. But yes, depending on yours, you're a massage therapist, I would say, yeah. I mean, especially if you're able to put out some promos out there of, 50% off on Sunday or whatever. I mean, I don't know what services you may offer, but yeah, I think for that industry it would pay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
There was also another question from Valerie. Thank you so much for that, Sal. It says, what about built-in email campaigns in a specialized software like for massage therapists, like example, a message book?
Built in, I'm not sure.
It's massage book. It's called Massage Book. My son's a massage therapist, and he uses Massage Book, which handles all of his appointments, but it also has like a built-in email marketing. But I'm wondering if it has as much reach or it's as effective as one of these that you're pointing out here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, that can be very effective because he already has the clients in a database. So he probably already has some data on them on whether it's age or whatever, and using that data to customize messages to his base is very effective. So yeah, I mean, I would, whatever, if you already have something built into a CRM that you're using to manage your clients, you're going to have a leg up on just a cold list that you can be email marketing to. So yeah, out of sight, out of mind. So yes, absolutely, leverage that.
And here's the strategies that we just talked about: pop-ups, giveaways, social media promotions, opt-in at purchase, tools or resources, and contests are always ways to engage your audience. More email strategies: segment and target your audience. And that's exactly what he's talking about, the CRM piece of it, that you already have some information on them. So it gives you a better idea of how to approach your marketing with them. Make it valuable, develop a cadence, which means if you're going to do it once a week, stick to that. Don't do every other day and then go a month without posting anything. And work on timing too, making sure that if it's a sale for this Saturday, don't post it Friday night, right? Put it a couple days ahead of time so people know that you're having a sale coming up. How else can you market your business online? So review sites, digital ads, videos, texting, which we talked about, delivery apps, and Amazon is another way to sell your product. And so if anybody wants to share which digital marketing space offers your business the biggest opportunity over the next 12 months. Does anybody want to guess?
Can I see that last slide really quick? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay. Digital, I would.
And you're going to get a copy of all this. So
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully you're not rushing through writing notes. Because
what is the review sites like? What does that mean?
Like Yelp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Google reviews, or you also have Facebook reviews.
Right.
Yeah, there's Trustpilot. Trustpilot, I think, is another one.
Okay, yeah. My son gives like a discount off his services if they leave a testimonial or a review or something.
Sure.
That's right.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody ended up sharing on the chat. I'm going to move along.
One thing real quick, if you don't mind me jumping in again,
No.
Jay, I apologize. I just want to make sure. Look, there's such a thing called local business listings. Local business listings is another way to put yourself out there. It's not necessarily a social media site, but it's like a business listing, kind of like Facebook is a business listing, business listing with Google. Well, there's over 1,000 business listings out there. And those business listings, it's kind of like, it's the equivalent, in my opinion, to networking, right? You go to a bunch of different networking events and people see you. So same thing online. If you participate in a bunch of different business listings, a lot of these are free, to like yp.com, Monta, there's a bunch of them. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but there's business listings that it's kind of like networking online, right? So the more places you are online, the more relevant you become. And then those allow you to put website links. So there you're actually creating backlink into your site, which is very healthy for SEO. Sorry.
Thank you for that. I'm going to probably cut it off after part 3. Just in case anybody has questions. But again, you're going to have this whole presentation in a workbook format, and you'll be able to go through the pages of everything we've covered today, and whatever we may have not had a chance to cover in the hour. So maximizing your online spaces. A holistic approach can save time and money while improving results. SEO. Make sure your website shows up in search results. A few approaches include keywords or key phrases, backlinks, site performance, and Google My Business. I think we covered a little bit about this already, so I'm gonna move forward. And here you have a little workbook homework that can help you with that. Automation. Automated messages can help you stay connected with customers without taking a lot of time. Welcomes, reminders, drip campaigns, requests for feedback, recommendations, celebratory occasions. That's always great, right? When they know your birthday's coming up and you get an email for an extra discount because you get an extra 10%, or you get something free because it's your birthday. That draws people into your retail location or to buy your product. Multi-channel marketing. Imagine if you started a blog on your website. How do you get it out there? Link to it on social media, include an excerpt in an email, post it as a tweet thread, use a lead capture form on blog or other web pages, include images from your posts on social media. Anything on this that we may have not shared yet? I think we covered this a little bit.
Yeah.
People tag me on Instagram all the time. They say the restaurants were closed, but I made my own udon wings. And this is just somebody sharing their specific experience. So just people are tagging you. That's great, right? But is it a good thing? Make sure that it's positive. What are some of your ideas for how to market across multiple spaces? Anybody wants to share on the chat, or any questions so far? Did I miss any questions on the chat?
There was one question. It's asked, what about ambassador programs?
Great question. I'm not familiar with that one.
Can someone clarify? Valerie, do you mind clarifying a little bit more about ambassador programs?
Well, I think it's kind of like you get a discount, or like you have people's other businesses links on your webpage to drive traffic to theirs, and somehow you get like a percentage of that. They call them ambassador programs. So
Yeah.
Kind of like similar industry links back and forth to each other kind of thing. I don't know how effective they are. I was just curious.
I think they're very effective, and I know more as affiliate programs, or you can also call them power partners, and they're definitely effective. I built our company on affiliate programs and partner programs, where you basically create links. You can get really technical with it, where it tracks where the lead came from, and there's a residual for the person, or there's some type of compensation for the person that referred them to you. So I'm a big believer in that. I think it's very effective.
Thank you for asking, because that's a good thing to know. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And the whole topic on analyzing and adjusting, right? Because we got to make sure that what we're doing is giving us the results we want. We don't want to spend time and money in something that's not giving us the results that we're hoping for. So it's just something that I'll touch on really quickly, and then I'll leave it open for questions. So make your goals SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So important. Establish metrics like Google Analytics, email analytics, social media analytics, and other kinds of marketing data, online surveys, net promoter score, and ROI. So how often do you guys review your marketing data? Does anybody want to share? And we'll look at it as I move along. A learning culture is essential. Marketing data is easy to ignore. Your approach needs to be intentional. I think intentional is such an important word when it comes to branding and marketing. So keep that always in top of mind as you're doing your marketing strategies.
It's
How to-
if I can touch on that real quick, I'm sorry, but I
Yeah,
think it's
go
useful.
for it.
A lot of people, especially in this time, in the time that we're in, a lot of people when times are tough and recessions, the first thing that they cut is their marketing budget. They say, "Oh, I don't have money for marketing." Well, you might as well just close your doors, because marketing is what brings in the sales and what brings in the clients. So, make sure that's not what you cut, or that's not what you not do during these times. You have to double down. In good times, people want to market. In bad times, people have to market. So just wanted to say that.
Wow, I love what you just said. That's awesome. So true. And I mean, I'm glad you said that, because it's so important that people continue to market themselves, because then there's more competition coming available, right? When things are tough, people are a little more open to sales. So if you're not staying in front of your customers that are loyal to you, then they might just look the other
Out of
way
sight,
and
out
buy
of
from,
mind,
yeah, exactly. All right, I think I'm going to stop right here, because I want to be conscious of everybody's time. And thank you so much, Sal, because I feel like I even learned from today's workshop through your knowledge. And I know you're being modest. He is also part of he's on the board of the California Hispanic Chamber. And so I thank you so much for taking time from your very, very busy day, because I know you sit on many boards in the Southern California area, on top of running 3 very successful businesses, one being the digital marketing company. So I am very appreciative of you sharing your knowledge today with the group, and for collaborating with us at Chase.
Of course, my
And
pleasure.
with
Thank you very
CIELO.
much.
Does anybody have any questions that you may have for Sal before we disconnect?
When you say create a dashboard, do you have any ideas about how to do that, or are there good apps that do that?
So there are, I think within the packet, there are some recommendations of some softwares that you can use that have those dashboards. I think Hootsuite is one of them, but I think if you reference the book, it's as simple as creating a spreadsheet and collecting the data from the different areas that you're marketing, and analytics from Google, from social media, and putting it together in a spreadsheet. The main thing, the takeaway from that is just being aware, and tracking your results, so you can pivot according to what's going on, what you're seeing.
Thank you, everyone, for today. Is there any other closing remarks that Lionel or Alex may have?
Yeah, actually, again, thank you, Jenny, Lionel, and Sal. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was very informative, and I love hearing the insights, and I'm excited to actually share the workbook with all of you as well. So for all of the participants, everybody who was on the caller, on this call, and even if you had a friend or someone else or a colleague that wasn't able to make it, we are going to send this out along with the recording to everybody who registered. And it's a valuable one, because obviously with when it comes to marketing and the whole digital world, it is very much changing. So Sal, I definitely appreciate your insight on this, and I think we all learned a lot. So again, thank you all for attending, and unless there's any other final thoughts, we can go ahead and close it for today. But thank you all for attending. Chase, it's awesome having you participate here with us today. And Sal, again, thank you. And everyone,
yes, and I'll also share Sal's information in case anybody has questions for him after the fact. Thank you.
That is awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Sal. And the workbook does have a lot of great resources, and we'll be sharing with you just shortly. So thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.